Yay Media Group.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Zabo, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. I'm Nick Adams.
I'm Anna.
Amy. And I'm Lacey G.
And today we're talking about our favorite sandwiches. Mine would have to be an Italian sandwich. I love all the meats, the different spiced meats, the salamis.
They call them a hoagie, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not a sandwich expert, but I know that I like them. Give me
That's our other podcast.
Some spicy mustard, some jalapenos, some oil, and vinegar and stuff. Anna, favorite sandwich?
I like a good club sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Amy, you said you're not
the
sure.
Cucumber.
Cucumber.
The cucumber.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lacey, for helping me with that.
Yeah, I like whenever I make a sandwich, I make a big old, like, what would you call it? Like a Dagwood sandwich where it's almost way too big. Same thing with burritos too. I'm not good at self-control. I think is
your
what
your eyes are bigger than your stomach.
Yeah, my
Eating with your
portions
eyes,
will be way too much. But I like cucumbers and roasted red peppers, and I'll get like the olive mix that's tamponata, even though it doesn't taste the same as like the muffalata stuff. And just pile it high with all the things.
Yum.
And slice my own cheese. So then I have a thick piece of cheese and not just the little wimpy one slices.
Sad cheese.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good call.
So I just Googled Taylor Swift sandwich. The very first thing that came out in 2023.
Recent.
So New Jersey names Taylor Swift ham, egg, and cheese its official state sandwich.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I remember when that was happening. It was a big deal.
That does not sound like a good sandwich. Is
Well,
that like a New Jersey thing?
Yeah.
Ham, egg, and cheese?
Yeah, Taylor ham, egg, and cheese. Like, specifically. Taylor ham.
But it's like a ham, egg, and cheese, a New Jersey thing
Like
that I don't know?
Like on a bagel? Yeah. Amazing. So good.
Okay.
So it's like breakfast ham.
It's a breakfast.
Yes.
It's a breakfast sandwich. I was thinking deli.
Right.
I don't know. Is that a different? Is there a difference in the ham you get in a breakfast sandwich versus a lunch sandwich?
There's lots of hams.
Like a bacon ham. Like, I'm thinking what I had in London. Their kind of bacon is really just ham. So that's kind of what I was thinking maybe it would be like. I don't know that I'm explaining myself at all, but I know what I'm talking about. Bacon ham.
All right, so Taylor Swift. We really enjoy following Taylor Swift's career, and so you are listening to a podcast because you are the exact same as us. So we have so many different bullet points to hit today.
Before we get into that, I want to remind our lobsters that we want to connect with you in a new, cool way because we have an exclusive club just for you called the Lobster Lounge. And it's a new way for us to communicate with our Swifties in the community and give them a chance to earn some swag while we're there, too. A big thank you to Minori Beauty. They want to welcome our listeners with a chance to win $200 worth of products from them. So Minori Beauty is this really minimalist, simple beauty products that looks really good on people who don't want to look like they're wearing a lot of makeup, but still add a little bit of color to their face, if you will. Go to station.page/13 to get started now. We also have that up on our website, the13podcast.net, and it's going to be in the description of this podcast. Let us know that you made it to the Lobster Lounge by posting on the main feed. And hurry up and do this because we've only got this special going on with Minori Beauty for your chance to win $200 worth of products for the next week. So go sign up now. Thank you to Minori Beauty for the warm welcome, and we can't wait to see you all in the Lobster Lounge.
It's been very busy in our world, in Taylor's world.
Yeah, in the best way.
And I think maybe we start with celebrity interaction with the podcast and one of our favorite podcast listeners, followers.
Yes, something absolutely incredible. And I'm glad that we're all here today because I have an idea that I would like to throw out to everybody. Let me know what you think. Rebranding 13.5 a Nikki Glazer fan podcast.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
Everybody say aye.
Aye.
Yes, Nikki Glazer is a fabulous, incredible, so talented comedian, and she's a huge Swiftie. If anybody was unfamiliar, huge Swiftie. Last year, I think probably around when the Eras Tour started, she was very open about how she decided not to have kids. And so she used the money that she was saving for IVF to instead buy Eras Tour tickets, like as many shows as she could go to. And she's been to like how many, like 20 or something?
I can't remember. We asked her.
Give or
but
take, we
she's-
did ask her. Give or take. I mean, she goes, if she's able to go, if she can get a ticket, if she can make it work with her schedule, she will be there, which is absolutely incredible.
Traveled the world to follow around Taylor Swift and go to the Eras Tour repeatedly. I want that life.
Yeah.
Nikki Glazer, if you ever need a travel partner,
We're available.
let's go.
So she's a huge Swiftie, and I think maybe it was at one point last year where, or maybe the year before, where she started following us on Instagram. She started following our podcast and would interact with us, like our posts, comment on things,
Agree with Nick.
agree with Nick on a lot of
She
things.
agreed with me once, and that was
She-
the highlight of my month.
Yeah. Oh, I'm wearing my Nikki Glazer shirt.
Perfect.
It looks good.
So she's on tour with her comedy tour, the Alive and Unwell tour, and she was stopping by in Dallas where we are. So she invited us out to her show, which is absolutely bananas and so incredible. I was a ball of nervous energy just like all day leading up to it. I was like, no way is this happening. Like, no way is this happening. So she invited the four of us, but Amy, Nick, you guys were unable to attend.
We had family things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Lacey and I went, and we took Ryan, my husband, and Lacey's friend Hugh. And it was incredible. It was incredible to see her up on stage do her thing. And I was like a proud friend,
Yeah.
right? Of course,
Because
obviously.
we're already best friends.
Because we're
with
already
her.
best friends. And I'm like, that's my friend Nikki. She killed it. She did so great. I mean, she's one of the best comedians out there. Like right now,
Yeah.
she has gotten so much praise for the Tom Brady roast
Yeah.
that she did. She was also, I watched her on Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity with Travis Kelce as the host. Nikki's hands down the smartest celebrity on there. Like
Really?
100%.
That's
yes.
great.
Yeah. Like when the contestants play, they get to like pick which celebrities they have like answer each question or help you with whatever. And Ryan and I were saying like, I would save Nikki for the very end for the hardest questions because she was like by far the smartest one there.
So when I know that you guys got to hang out with her. Was it before the show or after her show?
After.
Yeah.
We were trying to figure out scheduling wise what would work. At first we were going to meet her before, but I think she was kind of on a tight schedule.
And then the pressure's off.
Yeah, because then that way, like, we don't feel like, okay, you need to get ready for your show.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so we went to dinner before and like Lacey, like, I couldn't function. Like Ryan was like, you need to calm down.
Yeah. Ryan was like, Anna's husband was like, if this is how you both are reacting, because I told Anna, I was at home like, just had so much nervous energy. I'm like, what do I do? Do I get ready? Do I
know.
do this? Do I make a friendship bracelet? Like and I text Anna and I was like, I don't know why I'm so nervous. And she was like, literally same. Like I'm pacing.
I was like, I'm
Guys,
so
y'all
glad.
aren't going to be able to meet Taylor.
That's what Ryan
That's what Ryan
be
said.
bad.
That's what Ryan said.
That's what Ryan said. I said, when we get to meet Taylor, I need it to be like spontaneous. Like I can't know ahead of time. That's
like if
why
Taylor just walked in the door right now, you would prefer that over knowing, okay, in 2 weeks, you're going to get to go see Taylor Swift.
I guess much like a proposal, I would need a friend of mine to make sure that I look good.
Yeah, that's good.
But I can't fathom that. Okay. One incredible blonde talented woman at a time, please.
y'all had the Zoomies.
We
Yeah,
had the
the
we
Zoom.
had the Swiftie Zoomies. We really did. And she was just, oh my gosh, like I was telling Nick, I was like, well, of course now I'm insanely biased. Like now, like Nikki can do absolutely no wrong in my eyes. I will support her till the day I die, much like I support Taylor.
And I've been a fan of her comedy for a long time. I remember her from Roast forever. And I've been on a roast kick with a friend of mine. We watched the roast of James Franco last night. And hilarious. She's always been so good. That's where I first ever saw her was on Roast. And she's always been so good. And she has a special on HBO. And I
Yeah.
kept asking if you girls had seen it because there's a joke that I just think's hilarious and I think that y'all would think it is too. I know that y'all would think it is too. Anyway, Anna didn't watch it thinking, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to go see her on tour and it's going to be the same material. No, it's not. She just came out with a new special, and I can't remember if she says it on the special or if she posted about it. But like, watch my special and come see me on tour, because that's two separate things.
Yeah.
Which is not always the case for comedians. You
Right.
can keep the same set for forever.
Yeah.
But not Nikki Glazer. She's out there just cranking out the jokes, and every single one of them's better than the last. To get a standing ovation on Tom Brady, just incredible that she's getting the recognition and the honors that she deserves now.
Yeah. And it was just really incredible. Stand-up comedy is such a hard thing.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
a very hard
I would
realm
never.
and space to do. And to see her up there just like so confident, great, like everything, the delivery, the storytelling, to keep an audience engaged like that for the full hour that she was performing, that is so much hard work and talent. Like, it was so impressive. And then, so she invited us backstage afterwards to say hi. And it was, so me and Lacey walk in, and she was expecting the four of us. But Lacey and I walk in, and she's like, oh my God. She's like, I'm so used to seeing you guys like on social media. Like, it's crazy to see you in person. And I was like, no, it's crazy to see you in person.
Be for real, Nikki.
Nikki, literally.
Just stop talking. We feel great right now.
Be so
already.
for real. But she looked at Ryan and Hugh, and I think she was kind of confused. Like, I'm almost positive these two aren't the other two on the podcast. Like, for a second, and then immediately, like, Lacey and I were like, it's just the two of us. Like, Amy and Nick had scheduling conflicts. Like, this is my husband. And she was like, oh, hi, okay. But I could tell that for like a split second, she was like,
That doesn't look like Nick.
like I thought I would know all four of you. But it was like she treated us like we were old friends.
I saw pictures. I saw videos on our social media with you guys together. Y'all filmed. What was the like trend? The TikTok trend.
So originally what we were gonna do was recreate some choreography from the Eras tour, like the So High School part where you're like where she's like kicking her feet and stuff. But we couldn't figure out the logistics. So instead, it was Nikki's idea. It was like, oh, let's just recreate all of the eras in like a one pose to the sound that's like Taylor Swift. Fearless, speak now. So we did that, and it kind of almost felt like we were playing like an improv game, because like we would say like the album title, and then all three of us would have to figure out like what pose to do.
I love.
I loved
so
your
much.
Midnight's pose, Lacey. It was great.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you did the vigilante.
Fantastic.
Although I do have to say the best pose of that video, hands down, was Nikki Glazer in Tortured Poets department. She went for it, went on the ground.
Committed.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Smallest man who ever lived. And it was so fun and natural feeling being backstage with her. Like, she made it not be, even though this was such an incredible special thing to happen, she's like, no big deal.
Yeah.
We're back there just talked so much about Taylor Swift, and I still wanted to let her know, like, I'm a fan of you as well. Taylor Swift is what brought us together, but I'm still, I'm so proud of her. She got nominated for her first Grammy.
Yeah, that
day. Both of our blondies got lots of Grammy noms, but she was so nice, so sweet, so hosting. She'd leave the room and she's like, hey, come talk to my friends, and then come back and get us after she was done. She was great, and then said, I look forward to next time.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah, she said to keep in touch, stay in touch. Yeah, I mean, she was just so kind and so like, and she's just a very smart woman, and like you can just like, it's just amazing just to like be around her. So like that was, I love her so much. I was so excited, and I'm so excited to like just watch her win her Grammy in February. That's gonna be so awesome. That's gonna be so awesome. But yeah, next time hopefully it works out with the four of us.
I hope so.
Where the four
I
of
had
us can
FOMO.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, I had FOMO too.
Yeah.
Bummer. Next time, Amy, we'll go.
Next
And they won't go.
Oh, that's
What?
so
I'm just
mean.
kidding.
Why?
I don't know why I said that. Sorry. So, should we talk about Taylor's big week for Grammy nominations as well?
Yes. I have the nominees.
Let's hear it.
Here we go. In general field, because I believe Taylor has 5 nominations. So she's nominated for Record of the Year for Fortnite. Going up against Good Luck Babe by Chappell Roan, Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar, Birds of a Feather by Billie Eilish, 360, Charlie XCX, Espresso, Sabrina Carpenter, Texas Hold'em by Beyonce, and Now and Then by The Beatles. I will say, obviously we're a Taylor Swift fan podcast, so like we focus on Taylor, but it has been such a great year for music and pop music especially.
Absolutely.
Like I feel like every major artist released an album this year, which is absolutely incredible. So I think the Grammys it's a stiff competition this year.
Yeah.
It's a really, really stiff competition, and I feel like it would be awesome to see any of these nominees win, which would be really cool. But yeah, Fortnite. Taylor's also up for Album of the Year for the Tortured Poets department. She made history as the first artist to be nominated 7 times for Album of the Year.
So amazing.
7 times. She's won 4. She's also the only artist to ever do that, both male and female. Like, absolutely incredible. So she's up for Album of the Year against New Blue Sun, Cowboy Carter, Short and Sweet, Brat, DeJessie Volume 4, Hit Me Hard and Soft, Chaperone, The Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess, and then the Tortured Poets department. This is going to be a really interesting year. Song of the Year is also Fortnite with Post Malone. And remind me again the difference between Record of the Year and Song of the Year.
I believe Record of the Year is for the writing, like the lyrics. And then Song of the Year, I think, is just for the overall outcome, the overall song.
Okay.
I think.
It's one or the other.
That sounds right.
One or the other. Best New Artist, Taylor's not up for that, but Sabrina Carpenter is, so just honorable mention there. Producer of the Year, Jack Antonoff did not get a nomination
I
this
know,
year.
and he worked with Taylor and Sabrina Carpenter. And he's won it, I think, the last 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So it's a pretty big deal that he didn't get nominated this time.
Yeah, Gracie Abrams featuring Taylor Us. That one's nominated for Best Pop Duo Group Performance. The Tortured Poets department is also up for Best Pop Vocal Album. And Fortnite is up for Best Music Video. So those are all of the awards that she's up for.
Let's go, girl.
This time around.
Just incredible. And I know that we already mentioned Nikki Glazer for Best Comedy Album, but I do think that it's really cool. She is the only female on that list. It's also Ricky Gervais, Dave Chappelle, Jim Gaffigan, and Trevor Noah, and then Nikki Glazer. So how cool is that?
That is cool.
There was also a lot of conversation about the Eras Tour movie not getting a nomination for Best Music Film.
I know. How did that not happen?
Because it's like, it literally was like the reigning top box
Yeah.
office movie. Like,
I know.
crazy,
So
insane.
strange.
Well, people think it's the politics behind it. The fact that she cut out the middleman to make it herself.
Could be.
You know,
Could be.
I've seen some people speculate that's maybe why.
She hurt their feelings.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, today is a special day, you all. Today is 11/11.
It is.
Woohoo!
Yes, and Nikki King on TikTok pointed out a very big, significant thing about this day, a moment in history, a moment that's happened for the last couple of years now. So let's hear what she had to say.
Can I take this opportunity to remind you that today is the 3rd anniversary of Taylor saying this?
How do I hint at things like how far is too far in advance? Can I hint at something 3 years in advance? Can I even plan things out that far? I think I'm going to try to do it.
That interview was on November 11th of 2021, exactly 3 years ago today. It was also double 11s. I think it was pointing towards a double TS11 album that would come sometime in 2024, which we got. But this isn't all that Taylor did to hint at TS11 being a double album, so I want to go through some of those eggs on the anniversary of this interview. As I said, this was November 11th, the day before Red Taylor's version came out. Taylor posted this TikTok that day where she put on the sunglasses and then flashed the 2. And we know that the 2 would become a symbol associated with the rollout of the Tortured Poets Department album because the 2s were 2ing constantly as a sign that we were getting that double album. This was also the night that she did 2 interviews back to back. First, she went on Fallon in this white dress where she did the interview that I played a clip from, and the black dress she wore to Seth Meyers. A white version of an album followed by a black version of the album. The regular version of the Tortured Poets Department and the anthology. So this was in 2021. Well, November 11th of 2022, she also dropped another Easter egg. November 11th of 2022 is the day that Taylor officially doubled the original leg of the Eras Tour. The tour was initially announced on the 1st. She had added 8 shows the week before and then another 17 shows, doubling the American dates for the tour. And then, of course, on November 11th of 2023, Taylor gave us the first ever mashup on the Eras Tour during the surprise song set on night 2 in Buenos Aires. Taylor sang 2 songs from 1989 Taylor's version, Is It Over Now, mashed up with Out of the Woods. So every year on 11/11, she gave us signs that something doubled was coming. And then, of course, this year on April 19th at 2 a.m., we got the double album. TS11, the Tortured Poets Department, would have had 15 extra songs, her first ever double album. I also think it's possible that this means that she got to TS11 a little bit faster than she thought she would. It's customary for Taylor to drop new albums in the fall, but obviously we got this in the spring. And no, I don't think this means that she knew the content of this album, what it was going to be about 3 years ago. I think she just knew that she was going to do a black and white double album for her 11th album. But I think this is brilliant marketing and brilliant strategizing on her part. And while I have you here, tomorrow is the anniversary of Red, Taylor's version, the 3-year anniversary. And we should be getting the holiday drop this week as well. And of course, the Eras Tour picks up this weekend for its next to last stop of the Eras Tour. So I'm sure it's going to be a fun week.
So 3 years today.
Yeah.
3 years from her teasing that. Also, yesterday was Reputation's anniversary. Tomorrow's Red TV's anniversary. So just a lot going on right now. Just makes me excited to think to officially be in the 3-year mark. Like I've always assumed like it's all playing out right now. It's not waiting until this moment to happen, but we are in the era that she has been teasing. So
That's
just
cool.
yeah, how exciting.
Mm-hmm. Very exciting.
Well, should we start getting into some predictions for this upcoming show? She's now going to Canada. So how exciting is she's there for, was it 5 or 6 nights?
It's going to be 6, but we're
6.
just doing predictions for 3, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Sweet.
she's going to do 6 in Toronto and then 3 in Vancouver? Something
Yes,
like that?
I believe so.
Toronto.
Tayronto.
Okay. So we're going to be doing 3. Is that what I just heard? 3. Okay, good. So should we start the predictions going? Well,
Yes.
I guess before we get into that,
yeah.
should we see where we all stand, the point totals, what she sang the last time? I know it's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2
Yeah.
weeks. I know. It feels like forever. So last we left off, she performed 3 nights in Indianapolis. Across the board, we didn't really all score that much, except for on night 2. Nick, you had guessed Cornelia Street, which she did on night 3. Lacey, you had guessed The Bolter, which she also did on night 3. And then Amy, you guessed Death by a Thousand Cuts and Cowboy Like Me, both songs that, she did. You got 1.5 points for that, essentially. I got 0 points on Indianapolis. So Indianapolis was when she performed on night 1. The Albatross mashed up with Holy Ground, and then Cold As You mashed up with Exile. My
Beautiful.
God.
Yeah.
Night 2, I think will forever reign in infamy. The Prophecy with This Love.
Yes, we will.
I think that's one of the best mashups she's ever done. And then she did Maroon with Cowboy Like Me.
Beautiful.
Also so good. And then night 3, she did Cornelia Street with The Bolter and Death by a Thousand Cuts mashed up with The Great War. So just fantastic all around. But for our scores, Nick, Lacey, and myself, we all have 2 points, and Amy has 3.
All right.
Right.
So still a close game,
It
but
is.
I didn't do so hot last weekend, so I'm not feeling so good.
Oh, and we did officially write down the punishment for
Yes.
the loser. We never talked about it on the podcast, and we're not going to talk about it. It's going to be a surprise that we wrote down in the envelope that's going to be chosen at the end. So we'll see.
Yes, I have the envelope right here. All of our ideas are sealed.
I wrote a manuscript.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anna was like, let's make a fun little video and we'll just write it down real quick and put it in the envelope. And it took Amy, me, and Anna 30 seconds to write ours down and seal it and everything. And Lacey, it took quite a while.
Yeah,
They're
it was
doing
like a whole
minutes.
page.
It took a while. It was
Yeah.
a very long page.
Yeah.
So
I'm
I'm
nervous.
excited. I'm excited to see that punishment, whether
Yeah.
it's the one chosen or not.
Right.
It'll be a very intricate, creative punishment, I think.
Definitely.
So let's start guessing surprise songs. Okay. So for Toronto, night 1, I'm predicting that she's going to play New Romantics. And then I'm also predicting that Taylor's going to be a little bit of a comedian because Canadians are known for saying A. And so I think she's going to perform Wonderland because in it she says A, A, A. I think she's going to be funny.
That's cute.
That is cute. I like it.
She is funny.
She is
That's
funny.
a good guess.
She's gonna make a little joke like, "I'm having so much fun up here, A," or "Are you having fun, A?"
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
She's gonna A.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Lacey.
For night 1, I have Daylight and Wonderland. That's just the vibes that I'm getting. She's stepping back into color in the daylight. And Wonderland, I did not think about the AAA. That was written down. I'm not stealing answers from Nick like he tends to do sometimes. But yeah, I'm just feeling Wonderland now that we're in the 3-year mark and everything that she's been teasing. What does she have going on? Let's see.
So for night 1, I have New Romantics and I Look in People's Windows.
Nice overlap. Night 1 in Toronto, since people in Canada have a reputation for being really nice, I have It's Nice to Have a Friend. Nice,
Good.
friendly,
Yep.
you know. And then I mashed that up with You're on Your Own, Kid, only because she hasn't played that for the last 3 cities and she's due to meet her quota
She has to play that song.
at some point.
She loves that
She's
song.
gone too long without You're on Your Own, Kid, so I'm going to say it for Toronto night 1.
All right, so Toronto night 2, I think that Taylor's gonna play "Stay Beautiful" and "Today Was a Fairy Tale."
For night 2, I'm feeling a little bit more angsty. I'm thinking she's going to play Mad Woman and The Last Time.
For Toronto night 2, I have I Hate It Here and Come Back Be Here.
Excellent.
Mhm.
That's really good.
Mhm.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's so good. Okay, Toronto night 2, I have New Romantics with Cassandra. I know I've been doing the Cassandra Mad Woman mashup for weeks on end,
It's coming.
but I'm going to do New Romantics and Cassandra. I saw someone on TikTok had mashed it up themselves, and they did like, the rumors are terrible and true, but honey, most of them are true. So they killed Cassandra first because she feared. Like, it kind of like the way it goes together.
Uh-huh.
And I really like that. So if I can't get Mad Woman and Cassandra, I'm going to try for New Romantics and Cassandra.
Okay, so everybody has New Romantics on their list except for me so far. Is there a reason that you all picked New Romantics? Is there
No.
something?
I
Okay,
just-
just feeling
I was
it.
just feeling
I
it.
Yeah,
just
for
look for the
me, it's
mashup.
just it's such a huge, big stadium song, and it's such a crowd favorite. I'm having the feeling that she's going to pick big crowd favorites here towards the end. So that's why I went with New Romantics. I've
Same.
guessed it several times towards the end here. So
Yeah, you guessed it in Indianapolis.
yeah,
too.
I'm going to keep guessing it. I'll guess it the next week and the week after that if it doesn't happen this week. Yeah.
So that's it.
And then that's it. So let's move on to Toronto night 3. I'm predicting that Taylor is going to play Gorgeous and Better Than Revenge.
All right. Night 3, I'm thinking something similar as Anna. You're on your own, kid. You're on your own. She's getting ready to wrap up this tour. We are going to be on our own. But she still wants to remind us that you are all over me. You're all over me. I think that those two would pair well together, that could be a statement to the fans that I still have you all over me. You're on your own, kid, but I'm going to be back because you are all over me.
All right. For night 3 in Toronto, I have Treacherous and How Did It End?
Oh,
Ooh.
man, How Did It End is so good.
It is
Top 5. Tortured Poets.
top 10. I can't do a top 5.
Top 31. It's in there.
For the final night in Toronto, I have Teardrops on My Guitar and Peter. For no real reason. Just, we'll see.
Mhm.
Cross my fingers.
Cross my fingers.
Well, it's going to be a great night. She's going to be having a ton of fun these last few shows. I think she's really going to be soaking it all in. And I'm wondering, like, is she going to have any surprise guests in these last few stops? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't put it past her, like, to do something, grand finale-esque, but I
Yeah.
don't know what that would entail.
Yeah.
I am mad at the NFL.
Why?
Because they scheduled the Chiefs game
Oh.
the same night as Taylor's final Eras tour night,
So
which means
Travis
Travis
can't
can't
go.
be there.
Yeah. He went last week, and he said, like, I got to see her one more time or something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But this is the NFL's fault.
Well, speaking of the NFL, we got just a wonderful soundbite from Taylor Swift as she's entering the Chiefs game. She's riding in on a little golf cart, looking great. She's
Oh my
got
God,
that plaid
looking
jacket draped over, black dress.
Dare I say, one of the best game day outfits
It was a
she's
look.
had.
Knee-high, black boots.
She walked in there knowing she could buy that entire stadium just for the heck of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like, amazing.
I just love this. She's already looking great. She knows she looks good and stuff. And she's getting out of the golf cart. She's ready to walk back in the tunnel somewhere. And the security guard is yelling at the photographers and fans and stuff to stay back. And we got this nice little gem from Taylor. Stay back, please. Please.
It's so funny. I feel like for years, we've like fans, like Swifties have said that if Taylor wasn't a pop star, she'd be like a teacher of some sort, whether an English teacher, kindergarten teacher, some sort of teacher. And I feel like that kind of just proves it. Stay back, please.
Miss Swift just told the class.
Good
be
morning,
quiet.
Miss Swift. Yeah, amazing.
Also, some football news. Travis Kelce got his 76th career touchdown catch, a figure that ties him with Tony Gonzalez for the most touchdown receptions in franchise history. So he scored a touchdown and is breaking records himself.
On top.
Mm-hmm.
And the Chiefs are undefeated. So
I
they're
know.
completely undefeated so far this season. And that's pretty impressive.
It is.
Yeah. I had a proud Swiftie moment over the weekend. Ryan and I were grabbing drinks with these with friends of ours, and they're like, I mean, they like pop culture, they like Taylor Swift, but they're not crazy, you know, so they don't know the ins and the outs.
So you can't really identify that much with them. You
but
don't have too much in
anyway.
common.
But Taylor and Travis came up, and they were talking about like, oh, do you think it's true that, you know, their relationship started as like a contract, like PR thing? I obviously was like, absolutely not. But Ryan stepped in with all of this like logical reasoning as to why they are the truest of true couples and like everything. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud. And then even by the end of it, like our friends were like, okay, yeah, this is so good for her.
Anna, Ryan's been listening.
That's so
He's
great.
been listening.
Isn't that amazing? I'm so lucky.
It was so funny at dinner, him saying, y'all are not going to be able to handle yourselves if you ever meet Taylor Swift. And I'm like, Ryan, you might not listen to the podcast all the time, but we have like a running list of stuff that we're going to ask her. And he was like, does she, pointing at Anna, does she look like she can open a phone right now?
Anna's hands would be shaking so much.
I know.
We were like, good call, Ryan. You would have to open the phone, but we do have a list of questions to ask her.
Which
Thank
we haven't
you.
added to it in a while. We need to add
What's
that.
your favorite sandwich?
Oh my God, you're right. I should add that.
Do you like your bread toasted?
Let me add that right now.
Things like that. And you know, you say how Taylor Swift just came up in conversation. I have to actively try to not talk about Taylor Swift when I'm in a group of people. But it comes up. She comes up.
Oh, yeah.
It is not my doing.
Oh yeah.
And what, I'm just supposed to stand there and not defend her
Right. No,
to the
she's-
dudes that I'm talking to or whatever. It just happens to come up.
Yeah.
My friend was talking to a guy yesterday, a new guy, and so my friends are big football people, which is annoying for me because I'm not a sports person, and like they're loud. They scream at the TV, they super get into it, whatever. But she was talking to this new guy talking about, oh, the Chiefs game was just really good, and he was like, are you a Swiftie? And she was like, no, I'm a sports fan. He was like, oh, okay. So then they start talking sports, but I was like, why is that guy asking? Like,
Right.
screw him.
Like it's a turn
I just,
off.
yeah, I just wanted to see if you were going to say Taylor Swift's boyfriend. And I was like, I don't like him. And you do not have my permission to date him. He's a misogynist.
flag.
Yes. Screw that guy.
Yeah, that's the guy that rolls his eyes at someone for buying, you know, an expensive hoodie at Taylor Swift's concert. But then that guy goes and buys a $150 jersey to wear
Exactly.
on the weekends while he sits at
Right.
home and watches men in tights hit each other.
Yeah.
And he's looking down on Swifties?
It's
Okay.
giving insecure.
Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Tell her that we agree with you.
Thank you. I will.
You're
I
like,
will.
My Taylor Swift fan podcast co-hosts agree with me.
We disapprove of this guy and we think he's a bad person. So, yeah. Smallest man who ever lived, anyone?
All right. Well, thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you haven't already, subscribe to us on whatever podcasting platform you are listening to us on right now. And you can see us, you can watch us do this podcast on YouTube. Hi. Everyone look at the camera. Hi. Hello. Hi.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And thank you for Nikki Glazer for having Anna and I out.
I know.
Such a good time, truly.
Thank you.
Such a genuine person, such a talented, wonderful human being. Thank you.
And if you would like to contact us, chat with us, all of our social media and all of our contact links are in the description below, along with our website. And we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening. The 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.